All right, I'm gonna unmute myself here. Make sure Sir Greg here is unmuted.
I am.
You are. I can hear you loud and clear. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ThrillGeek This week. Slight change of plans this week. Barry had something come up, and Emily was feeling kind of under the weather, so I reached out to, as you guys know, Greg and I, working together now somewhat with Bark Journey and Thrill Geek, and so I figured why not have him on. We're going to be talking what's new for 2024. So I figured why not have Greg on over on the West Coast, and he can kind of give us an update with what's going on. For let me bring up the chat here so I can see
Not a whole
that.
lot on the West Coast this year.
Not right. There's not a. I mean, figuratively speaking, it's kind of a it's overall across the board. It's kind of an interesting year for theme parks. As I've been taking my new for 2024 notes here. It's kind of a smorgasbord of additions this year to not only the big parks like Disney, but the national parks, which we talk about on here too: Six Flags, Cedar Fair. So I figured we would just dive in and for the next hour or so, just kind of go over because Greg and I were talking before we went live here. There's some stuff that we need to refresh on, and Six Flags is being one of them. So I have Six Flags stuff up here, which we'll go over a little bit later. But I kind of figured we'd kind of go start over on the West Coast where Greg is, and maybe kind of make our way across the country. And we're not going to be able to get to every little new addition across the country, but definitely highlight. And if we have some time at the end, we can name some honorable mentions across the seas internationally with like Tokyo and stuff like that. But for now, we're going to focus here at home. But first off, Greg, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I'm
Yeah.
glad to join you finally.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I've definitely been wanting to get you on the stream here, so here we are. And how's the weather over there in California? Is it seasonable? Unlike today
No.
here in Orlando, it was like 85 today.
I mean, it's supposed to be like I think in the 80s this weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
It's
but
funny
no,
how
it was nice today. Nice day the last couple of days.
we've had a beautiful stretch of weather for like the last week or so. It's been gorgeous, kind of uh, 70s, high 60s, lows in the 50s. It's been beautiful. But today it was like no, that's over. Today it was like
Yeah, but California 85 is very different than Florida
it is.
85. So I'm actually looking forward to the 80s this weekend where we're down at
Yeah,
Disneyland. So
a little bit drier of a heat than down
yeah,
here.
much.
We can't do heat and dry here in Florida. It's either even when it's cold, it's that cold damp air. Like it's 40
Right.
degrees and you can feel the humidity in the air and it makes it even more colder. So anyways, but yeah, that's what's going on here locally, weather wise. But we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to talk about some theme parks. So, where do you want to start off, Greg? West Coast. Do you want to start off? Let's start off with Knott's,
Sure.
because I was kind of curious as to what's going on at Knott's, in particular with Montezuma's. Have you heard anything? What's going on with that?
Rumors only at this point. There's obviously, I mean, it was supposed to be open by now.
Yeah.
It just came across my memories this week that I think yesterday it was 2 years to the day since my last time writing Montezuma's.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be, spring of 2023 was supposed to be the opening, and they took stuff apart and it's just sitting there. There's lots of rumors about why that is. There's been some manufacturing issues, some issues with the launch. There's obviously nothing solid. It's all just been rumors at this point. And then
It's an old
obviously with
ride, so I would imagine
it
getting
is.
parts for that ride is kind of
Well, the only track that's left really is like the station track. That's everything else is gone.
okay.
So, and then obviously with the Camp Snoopy editions, which I know we're going to talk about, they're expanding the train, they're
Mhm.
expanding the car ride, and those are right next to Montezuma's Revenge, which obviously raises some concerns. Are they taking over some of that land for expanded Camp Snoopy train and the expanded, truck ride? And at this point, I don't know. I've seen some pictures this week of construction going on in Camp Snoopy. Nothing has been done anywhere near Montezuma's Revenge at this point, so I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, like you said, the big addition. For those of you watching the stream on here, you can see Camp Snoopy is going to be the big update, and they are getting the coaster there, right?
Yeah, they're getting a kitty coaster. It's Peppa Pig's same coaster.
Yeah. Camp Snoopy's off-road rally, Sally's swing along, and then it says Beagle Express and take a locomotive ride through a series of camp vignettes.
Yeah. And it's funny because, I mean, if you remember, I mean, you may not remember, but the last, Camp Snoopy redo was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it really hasn't been that long since they last redid Camp Snoopy. But I mean,
guess
the Timberline Twister was old, but go ahead.
Kings Island is also getting a Camp Snoopy, but they're getting like a shuttle, like a boomerang coaster that actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they're doing like a family coaster. It reminded me a little bit of the one that's at Adventure City, which is about 3 miles from Knott's. There's a little family shuttle coaster, Gerstlauer. It's a really fun coaster. So if it's similar to that, then Kings Island's got a good little kiddie ride there.
Yeah,
family ride.
What else? California. Is Legoland California getting anything this year?
Yeah, they're completely redoing one section of the park where they had the Fairy Tale Brook and there's the Dino coaster. So basically, they're making it all Dino. It's going to be Camp Jurassic. So they're retheming the Fairy Tale Brook ride. And then there's some other rides that they're getting rid of and then adding a few. So yeah, there's a huge expansion. Speaking of, I see Michael on here from San Diego. Speaking of excellent weather, you can't really get much better than San Diego. Maybe not this week, but yeah, it's so yeah, lots of family editions obviously there for Legoland California. Looking forward to checking all that out this year.
And then obviously Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, the Six Flags parks in California, Magic Mountain. Not much going on at Magic Mountain. They're getting a new solar panel parking lot.
Yeah, final. I mean, I'll be honest. When you're driving that parking lot, you feel like you're off-roading.
Yeah,
it is long overdue. So I'm actually pretty excited about that project, to be honest. They did take out late last year. They did take out the ticket booths that were at the front of the park. There's just 2 ticket booths left on each side. So I don't know if they're going to be redoing the entrance at some point. And then obviously the big news is they're taking out the Golden Bear Theater. And we don't know what's, obviously everyone's ooh, giga. I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. I think people are going to be very disappointed if they think Magic Mountain is going to get a giga.
I swear it's a thing in the theme park community. Like when nobody has a rumor to go off of, they just throw the word giga in there. And it's like, we don't have any rumors. They're adding a giga.
Yeah, I did a video on this last year, basically saying that if Magic Mountain does want to do a giga, they've got to get rid of some coasters that are problematic at that park, which there are quite a few.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to the park in the morning for a couple hours, so I'll make sure to post up some pics of the deconstructed Golden Bear Theater. If you're not aware, that theater is very historic. If you saw This Is Spinal Tap, that was the theater they played in that movie. Weird Al's played there. Oingo Boingo's played there. Kiss has played there. New Kids on the Block played there when they were the single busiest day I've ever seen at Magic Mountain was when New Kids on the Block played there.
New Kids.
Yeah, right when
New Kids on the Block.
Right when they're hitting. It's like right when they were hitting. I didn't see them, but I was there that day.
That's funny. New Kids on the Block. You can't beat it. Magic Mountain. What else we got over there on the West Coast? Universal Studios Hollywood.
Adding a
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld's adding a new not goldfish. Why did I say goldfish?
Goldfish.
Jellyfish.
The jellyfish exhibit.
Yeah, which is going to be really cool. It's over by the electric eel. That particular where the sub ride that lasted 3 months was. It's going to be kind of in.
I remember that poor ride. Yeah. That ride
I was one of the very few who actually got to ride it.
That ride had such potential, and then it just kind of fizzled into the sunset. Was it mechanical issues? What was?
It was.
Did you ever
issues?
Yeah,
it was everything. Yeah.
It looked like a really cool ride.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. It looked like a cool concept. Maybe what I'm thinking is it would have been a cool concept if it was executed
Correctly. Yes, it
correctly.
was definitely one of those. It was one of those
Yeah,
that it would have been really great if they had actually invested and done it
made
right.
it worthwhile. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So yeah, and then I mentioned Universal Studios Hollywood. Obviously, the Fast and Furious coaster continues, which I know we're talking 2024 stuff, but that's really the big thing going on at Universal
Yeah.
Studios Hollywood, unless there's something else that you can think of
No, I mean that's
that's going
basically
on.
it. I mean, and everyone keeps asking, when do you think it's going to open? And I'm honestly thinking similar timeline to Super Nintendo World, so maybe February of next year, maybe a
Early
year from now.
2025, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, that seems to be. But again, it's Universal, and we all see how fast they're working. So
Yeah.
and
Not
then
to
obviously,
brag, but we're getting a new theme park, so
yeah, I know. And obviously, Tiana's is supposedly supposed to open this year. I don't see it happening, to be honest. At least not the
yeah,
one at
because they're
Disneyland.
I mean,
They're behind.
I'm pretty sure I could see ours opening up later this year. They seem to be pretty far ahead.
Yeah.
But I mean, the one at Disneyland, what they just installed the water tower on the exterior.
Yeah.
And I know you
I mean,
said
it's
you're
not
gonna,
as big as Orlando's, so there's
yeah,
probably not as much work to actually do, but I don't see it open. I mean, it took them 3 years to reopen the treehouse, so I don't
yeah,
see, I mean,
yeah,
I'm just being, if it opens this year, great. I'll be very happy. But I kind of see Fast and Furious and Tiana's kind of opening around the same
kind of
time.
being the same time frame
Yeah.
opening. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And
So
the
okay,
Magic Mountain Giga at the same time.
and the Magic Mountain Giga. Yeah, they better start getting on that if you're um so anything else on the West Coast as far as, I mean, not necessarily California. I mean, I think they've started I mean, I'm trying to stick to 2024. I know in Vegas,
Yeah,
Universal
the Horror
started
Nights.
construction
Yeah.
on the Horror Nights Unleashed or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's obviously not opening this year.
No.
So yeah, I think we can kind
I
of
think that's no, nothing new at Great America. No Discovery Kingdom. I don't think Lagoon has anything new this year. Yeah, that's really about it. I mean, that's really kind of our West Coast parks. That's where it kind of extends
Yep.
to.
Yep. So since kind of in the middle of the country, a lot of it's Six Flags. Both Greg and I, we need kind of a refresher, and I can actually bring up the press release here. Six Flags Over Texas, which you just did some homework, Greg, right before the stream just now. This world's first log flume was supposed to, I forgot, the El Rio Lento.
Yeah,
They had this whole plan of, I guess, turning it into an even bigger flume ride, and I guess that's quietly been
canceled.
swept under the rug, and it's
Yeah,
not happening this year.
no. I mean, basically what it is they have two flume rides, and then basically they were going to combine the two flume rides.
So they're like right next to each other.
Pretty much, yeah.
I should know this because I've been to Six Flags Over Texas.
It's been about 20 years since I've been there, but yeah. So so basically they were just going to combine the two, and then it just very quietly got canceled.
Interesting. And then Six Flags Fiesta Texas will be getting a DC Universe land with Cyborg Cyber Revolution. And I'm guessing that's, I forgot what kind. When Six Flags names their flat rides, it's kind of all Shazam Tower of Eternity. Yeah.
The
Rotating.
Cyber Revolution is very. It's like the one at Great Adventure, the Cyborg one that kind of flips you around and does all that.
Is that like rectangle one that's got like all the different crazy? Nope, the spin and puke that I would absolutely not go on.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Shazam Tower of Eternity, a rotating family drop tower, and the Metropolis Transit Authority. And I'm guessing that was like the gondola around the.
No, it's like a people. It's like a people mover type.
Almost
thing.
like a people mover. Yeah.
Yeah, like a monorail. I'll be honest. This is what I see actually coming to Magic Mountain in that spot where the theater is the maybe a kids DC area because it's right across the street from Bugs Bunny World. I kind of
stick into that family thing. Yeah.
That would be my guess at this point.
Going over to the East Coast, Great Adventure. I think this is kind of the most interesting addition to Six Flags Park. Is the Flash Vertical Velocity, which is a Vekoma.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, it's one of their new super boomerangs. It'll launch you forward, backwards, 60 miles an hour. It's going to have a 0G roll, 180-degree twisted drop. That actually looks like one of the cooler additions to the Six Flags parks this year is this Flash vertical velocity.
Yeah, I mean, who would have ever thought we'd be excited about a Vekoma?
Right? Vekoma's actually come out with some really cool,
Oh, they have, yeah.
some really interesting concepts over the last, I don't know. Let me see if I can find a picture.
Decade or so. About
Yeah,
a decade or so.
Let me see if I can.
They've really turned it around.
Yeah, they've come out not some just some concepts, but actually building stuff. Here it is. Let me see if I can. No, that's just a YouTube video. I don't need you.
There might be something on the Park Journey YouTube, but I don't remember if we got the release from. I don't know if we got a release or a video from them last year. I don't recall.
Trying to see if I can. It was actually, I think it was in the video. But anyways, Flash vertical velocity. Look it up. It's really cool looking. It's an interesting boomerang type coaster. And the next Six Flags St. Louis, which I believe this is a Ring of Fire. It's called the Joker Carnival. It says standing. See, this is where they're standing at a staggering 17 stories tall, whips back and forth. Oh, it's a giant disc. Never mind. It's a pendulum.
Oh, it's
flat
like
ride.
Yeah.
And then Six Flags Great America is getting a giant pendulum attraction, similar
same thing.
to
it's the same thing as the Joker.
Six Flags Over Georgia will be getting an Ultra Surf coaster from Intamin, right?
Yeah.
Is it Intamin? Yeah, it's Intamin.
I believe so. Yeah.
This actually looks kind of cool. It's kind of like a almost like a boomerang, I guess you could kind of explain it as.
Yeah, it's like a boomerang water coaster. Yeah, they did Aquaman at Six Flags over Texas last year. It's similar to that.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that was a mock, and this one is an Intamin. So I don't know. I can't explain why they would go to two different manufacturers, but
the Aquaman looks pretty cool. I've watched a few videos of it at over in Texas, and it's cool how it kind of does the back and forth thing, and then the water rises and you splash down into the water. It's pretty cool. And then last but not least, one of my home parks, upstate New York, Six Flags Great Escape, will be getting a Bobcat wooden coaster. Looks like a fairly family friendly. Yeah, it says right here in the description, family friendly wooden coaster, 40 miles an hour. So that'll be a great little addition for them, because that was my first park growing up. That was Steam and Demon at Great Escape was my first upside down coaster. Old Arrow Looper. It was basically Python, which was at Busch Gardens, Tampa. It had a double corkscrew and a loop, and I was terrified to go on that, which is pretty funny. I remember being absolutely terrified of going that, but I was
always afraid. Yeah. But then you wanted to get right back on, didn't you?
Yeah. I was like, it's like 70 feet tall. And I was like, oh my God, this is the scariest thing ever. I don't want to go on this. And then I rode it.
That was me with Colossus at Magic Mountain. You know,
I didn't want to go on it.
Didn't want to go on it. Then it was, okay, we got to go. I got to ride again.
So we've covered, I'm kind of getting to the point where we just kind of need to go by kind of, we did Six Flags. We're kind of getting over to the East Coast, and I figured we could, national parks, we could quickly mention Cedar Point, obviously Top Thrill 2. What are your thoughts on Top Thrill 2, Greg? I haven't really talked to you about it.
I've only been to Cedar Point once, and that was in 2022. So I didn't even get to ride Top Thrill Dragster. So you
never rode Dragster?
No, I never got to ride it. I have ridden King to Caw, but I never got to ride Dragster. So I'm actually pretty excited.
Same damn ride.
Yeah, I know.
Just a little airtime hill at the end.
Yeah. But so I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for Top Thrill 2, to be honest with you.
It actually looks pretty cool. And then I saw Lance from Screamscape. He actually posted an interesting. For those of you that follow Lance, he's been in the theme park rumor
forever.
He knows everything.
And if you don't follow Lance, why not?
yeah. And he posted an interesting rumor about Top Thrill 3, and that they could possibly do like a random launch sequence on Top Thrill 2 now that they have this new launch.
It wouldn't surprise me.
You could launch either backwards or forwards first for the first launch, would actually be pretty cool.
I mean, they always said that for Tower of Terror at DCA too. Oh, all we have to do is flip the switch to make it random, and they never
to
did
make it
until
random.
Guardians came.
Yeah,
So
and I mean they have the magnetic launch, and they got rid of the hydraulic launch, so now
right,
it's something that they could possibly do. But
that
it
sounds
was
cool to
it
me.
was yeah, it was an interesting rumor. I don't know if it'll come to fruition, but I saw him post that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then what else do I have here? National park wise, Holiday World is getting Good Gravy, which is probably the best theme for a coaster ever.
Yeah,
I can't get over how awesome this theme for Good Gravy is.
so good.
Yeah. I was at IAPA for the unveiling for the car for that at the Vekoma booth, which was, amazing because those were exactly like the gravy boats that my mom had with the little design, the details on this rider. You're going to grandma's house for Thanksgiving and they're actually building the queue like you're going through grandma's house and everything. And it looks absolutely amazing. They announced that ride. I was like,
That's pretty awesome.
this is unreal. Let me go down the list here. National parks. We covered Cedar Point, Kings Island. Like we said, they're getting the Camp Snoopy makeover.
Yeah.
Kings Dominion. What are they getting for 2024?
I don't think they're getting anything.
I
can't think of off the top of my head. I know Dorney's getting a new coaster. They're getting the dive coaster.
Dorney's getting the dive machine. Yeah, they're getting
which,
the dive machine.
I mean, that park desperately needs. I was talking with my wife the other night, and we went to Dorney in 2005, and that was the year that Hydra opened. And I'm like, yeah, they're getting their first new coaster since we visited.
You know what's funny is Barry and I have discussed this several times about the neglect that that Dorney Park has been getting. Yeah. And here's some pictures of the dive machine they're getting. Iron Menace is the name.
Menace, yeah.
Not an absolutely crazy dive machine. It's not the tallest and it's not the fastest in the world or
It'll
anything.
Be a good fit for that park.
By that, yeah, but for that part, for this park, it'll be pretty perfect. But as you can see, they're rocking and rolling. They got the 0G roll installed, and it's looking like a good addition to that park. But yeah, Barry and I have discussed several times on this stream that Dorney Park is like the long lost park for Cedar Fair. They've neglected that park so much. So
yeah, I've been in that park twice. I've spent a total of 3 hours in that park.
Yeah. So, it looks it's great to see them getting some love. So okay, we mentioned Six Flags Over Georgia with their coaster, Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I don't think they're getting any.
They got
Dark Coaster
Dark Coaster last year. Yeah,
for last year. I don't think they're getting. Well,
anything. I take that back. They're redoing Loch Ness Monster.
That's right.
Yeah, which is amazing. I stand corrected. I love this project.
Yeah, it's been really cool to watch. Yeah, it's been really cool to watch. From it's great to see an amusement park take an old classic ride and not completely just destroy it and plop something else in there. It's great to see them take the time and remove pieces of the ride. And I don't think they have any pictures on there.
I think they posted a couple last year, but
yeah, I'm kind of scrolling through their Twitter profile, and I don't see anything that they've added. Maybe it was on Facebook or something like that. But yeah, no, it's great to see them. Because Loch Ness is such a classic ride. And it's great to see them not going in there, tearing it out, and just plopping something in there. And actually giving it some. I think Premier Rides is actually manufacturing and they probably it might have been several weeks or several months ago, they replaced the track coming out of one of the loops, and you couldn't even tell. Like they copied the arrow track like to a T.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this is the first. I mean, there's not that many arrows left at this point.
Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping this is the first of trying to preserve the arrows that are left. So you've got Viper at Magic Mountain, you've got a few others. Instead of tearing them
Magnum
out,
at Cedar Point,
Magnum.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this is the first kind of the test run of kind of trying to save some of these classic arrows.
Then What else? What else? National parks. I think we're getting down. Oh, Silver Dollar City, Fire in the Hole.
Oh, right, yeah, Fire in the Hole
Silver
2.0.
Dollar City is getting the Fire in the Hole remake, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
It's a
at the
great park. Yeah.
the train unveiling for that at IAPA, so it's great. Again, this isn't them restoring a ride, but it's great that they're continuing
it. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we went there in 2022, the same trip that I went to Cedar Point. We went to Silver Dollar City, and I mean, it was great to ride it. I'm glad that I got to ride the original, but it was definitely showing its age. So, but I mean, it's just one of those classic, rides that you have to do.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're kind of redoing it.
This is the video that I got at IAPA. They had a little band out playing the Fire in the Hole song and just all sorts of really cool stuff. So, yeah, that's coming to Silver Dollar City, and they pretty much built a whole new giant warehouse for the new one.
Yeah.
Right behind.
They're not. It's not right where it's not. They're not basically replacing the existing one. It's a totally separate area of the park.
Yeah. So, there's that, and I think that's about it as far as national parks. We went over Six Flags
I don't think
stuff.
Dollywood's getting anything.
Dollywood, no, I don't think they're getting anything for 2024. They got what did they get last year? The coaster, Big
Bear Mountain
family coaster, which I have to get up and with the family and ride because it looks like a fun little coaster.
I've heard it's really fun.
Yeah. Have you been to Dollywood at all?
I have not, but we're
hoping
to go this year.
Yeah,
hoping to go this year. We've got some family stuff to take care of out in that area, so I'm hoping to get out there.
It's such a good park. I love Dollywood. The food, oh my god, you could spend a day just eating the food at Dollywood. It's unbelievable. And it's good food too. Like it's not just like crappy theme park, burgers and hot dogs. It's good country cooking. Oh, it's. I'm gonna get hungry just thinking about it. So
I know I haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah, I'm ready for bed. So okay, let's. I guess we could venture here to my turf and kind of get into Orlando stuff here. I'll save Disney for last since that's kind of got the most bullet points here. We can start with SeaWorld. They're getting obviously Penguin Trek, the family B&M launched coaster, I guess you could say, this year. Aquatic Orlando is getting Tassie's Underwater Twist, which I'm guessing we haven't been to Aquatic in quite some time. It's the two toilet bowl. It's the best way I can explain it.
Oh, okay.
The two toilet bowl water slides. It's like it almost looks like they're taking the existing ones there and they're putting like a canopy over it. And it sounds like they're going to make it like interactive or not interactive, but it sounds like they're going to add like some kind of video element or something to it. I was confused when they announced it. I was like, okay, so you're taking.
That sounds cool.
It's a refresh of two slides that are there, and it looks like they're basically putting a lid on the toilet bowls and they're enclosing it.
Put the lid down, Clint.
It's the best way I can explain it. And I'm guessing they're going to add like screens or something and make it. I don't know. It was an interesting announcement when they announced it. And Penguin Trek, SeaWorld Orlando, they're almost done with the track with that. They've got maybe like a handful of pieces of more track.
I'm hoping that it'll open in time for our trip in May. Because I haven't been to SeaWorld. I haven't been to SeaWorld Orlando since 2017. So you got some catching up to do. Yeah, I got Icebreaker. I've got the stand up, and then obviously the Penguin.
I was going to say Mako. Mako was probably.
Mako, I marathon Mako the last time.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's such a good ride.
I mean, we're coming back for October anyway. So if it's not open by May, then we'll be.
It should be SeaWorld. I mean, they're pretty good with. I mean, as long as. I know this is a first for B&M, but it's B&M. So as long as, and it's a launched little family coaster, I don't think there should be any major issues with it or anything. So more about I'm thinking more about the theming and stuff. Maybe I don't know what they're doing to the outside. It should, because obviously this is replacing the what was the name of the Penguin ride, the Trackless Dark ride? Penguin. Antarctica,
something.
drawing a blank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trek to the Antarctica.
It's very, very forgettable.
Exactly. This will be a nice addition to SeaWorld Orlando, and they need something like this. They've been dropping like these giant, Mako icebreaker.
I'm interested to see what the height requirement is going to be for this, though, because B&M, like you said, hasn't really done family coasters. So I'm kind of interested to see what the, if they're going to try and keep it at 40 to 42 or whatever, because B&Ms are typically 54. I can't imagine. Yeah. So
yeah. And I think, like I said, it's going to be a perfect addition to that park because they need something family oriented, and this will be perfect. And they lost that, even though that penguin dark ride thing was cute, but it was forgettable. I don't know what happened with that ride, but they were having mechanical issues with it. The first room that you went into and you kind of spun around, that was cool.
But yeah.
After that,
and the reveal at the end when you went into like the actual penguin,
when you went into the penguin
really
exhibit,
cool.
yeah,
that was
cool. But the parts where you like stopped and watched the movie, and I was just like,
and even going on like the super spinny part didn't make it any better.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. So hopefully this will be a nice new replacement addition to the park. Because we've discussed this before. The park SeaWorld Orlando, they need to take a break from the giant, monstrous B&Ms for a couple years and add some nice, a dark ride. The Sally, I've said before, the Sally dark ride, the Sesame Street dark ride is right there. That would be perfect for SeaWorld Orlando.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And they did, Sally did a dark ride up at in Monterey last year, and very like aquatic themed, obviously, for that area. Something like that would be perfect for SeaWorld.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping, that they continue with this family trend for at least the next couple of years to get a nice mix because, families go to SeaWorld, I mean, coasters are great. Don't get me wrong. I love the coasters. Right. But I have, I mean, Jordan's 13. He can ride all the big coasters, but my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old, they can't, know?
Right.
So I'm hoping, like you said, this penguin trek will be somewhere in that 42-inch, maybe 44-inch height requirement. So the littler kids can get on it. And all right, speaking of family coasters, Busch Gardens Tampa, they're getting Phoenix Rising, a B&M family inverted coaster. So that's under construction at Busch Gardens Tampa, which I think the last update they posted the Trek. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a Vekoma.
It's a B&M. It's going to be like a baby Montu, literally.
Nice.
It's going to be,
and that's replacing Sand Serpent, right?
Yes, the Wild Mouse coaster that absolutely hurt like hell.
Yeah.
When they announced that they were tearing that down, I was like, goodbye.
Yeah. No love lost there.
I literally uploaded the video, the POV of me, Jordan, and Connor, my two sons riding it, and all you hear is ow, ow, the whole thing. So nothing of value, nothing of importance or great value was lost with them tearing that out. But no, it'll be a B&M family inverted coaster coming to the park. So again, Busch Gardens Tampa, they need something like that, a great family edition. It's not a giant record-breaking, scream machine. It'll be something perfect for the family. So all right, moving on. Universal Orlando, obviously DreamWorks Land is under construction. We're seeing that progress. I'm guessing that'll be more of a midsummer opening.
That would be my guess too, from what I've seen.
Yeah. Hey Sadie, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. My sister is here. I don't know what she said. It's not showing up. So hi Trista. That's my sister. Shout out to everybody watching the stream. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, going back to Universal Orlando, DreamWorks Land will be the addition this year. And I didn't want to include it because I don't know if they're working on a new platform for the new nighttime show. I'm hoping it should be. They're pretty far along with it for a new nighttime show because Lord knows.
In the lake?
Yeah, nice. They've got the majority of the platform built, it looks like. I mean, I'm no nighttime expert, but the pictures, you can look right down in the lagoon and the platform's right there, and they've got, from what it looks like, the majority of it is good to go. So I'm hoping Maybe we'll get a new summer nighttime show. And, you know, we were just discussing this last week when we came back from our long break. Halloween Horror Nights, you know,
That'd be great.
they need another
something. nighttime
nighttime show. They
Yeah.
need the Lagoon show back for Halloween Horror
Yeah.
Nights, because it gets so crowded in that park
Yeah.
during Halloween Horror Nights. One show during Halloween Horror Nights is not
Not
enough.
enough.
No, to
I
get
agree.
people off the midway. So maybe a new nighttime show for this year. We'll have to wait and see an official word from Universal about that. What else? I think we're getting kind of down to the nitty gritty here. I mentioned SeaWorld, Aquatica, Legoland. They're getting Ferrari experience thing. It's not really a ride. It's
Yeah.
they're
Ours got that a couple years ago, and the Legoland here got that a few years ago. It's pretty cool.
they're building
Yeah.
like a life-size Ferrari out of
Mhm.
Legos, and there's going to be some hands-on things for the kids. So that's what
Yeah.
Legoland's getting. It looks cool.
Cool.
And so yeah, let's move over to Disney because there's a lot of little things with Disney. Obviously, we already discussed it. Disneyland, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We'll start with the big edition. Late 2024. Disney is still holding that. We know Disneyland is still saying late 2024, but as Greg was saying, it'll be interesting to see if Disneyland can. Sadie says she'll be coming over to Florida this year. Oh, that's awesome! You doing any of the theme parks? Disney, Universal? Let me know. I'll help you out. That's what I'm here for.
Oh,
You need any
actually,
tips?
speaking of one thing that we didn't mention about Disneyland is the Haunted Mansion queue redo.
The queue. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? I saw a few pictures of the demolition. They completely
Yeah.
went to town, and
They went to town. Like I don't think I've ever seen Disney move that quickly on
Yeah.
demoing something.
yeah.
Because they want to get it all done for Tiana. So that's all going to kind of incorporate. It makes sense now, because I was kind of wondering why they made Tiana's the restaurant where they did, which is on
Mhm.
the opposite side of Haunted Mansion, and not actually taking over Hungry Bear. But now, if you're kind of expanding that New Orleans Square theme all the way around past
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion, it makes sense. I don't know that Winnie the Pooh fits there, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so I mean, I they want to get that done before to go along with Tiana's. My only
To go along
regret
with
is
Tiana's.
we're not going to get regular Haunted Mansion at all this year, which is kind of a bummer.
I have a few more things in my Disney notes related to Disneyland, so hold on to that
Ooh.
thought. Also at Disneyland, we have Phantasmic returning with
Yeah.
no Maleficent dragon, unfortunately, because that burnt to the ground.
we were actually there the night that it happened.
Yeah.
We were leaving the parking structure, and all of a sudden we see all these fire engines, and we have no idea what's going on
Yeah,
until we got home a couple hours later.
That poor dragon. I felt so bad. Like, it was like when the fire happened for the Festival of Fantasy Parade here. Like,
Yeah.
the dragon looked so defeated and just like sad, and I was like, I felt so bad, because that was the highlight of the show.
Yeah. But we are getting Peter Pan back, so instead
Yeah.
of pirates. So
And then I had one more thing here, Disneyland. Pixar Place Hotel, which they've got. I saw the last thing for that. They've got the Pixar Place
Yeah.
Hotel signage up, so that'll be opening up here soon. This will be kind of Disneyland and Disney World, so I guess we can mention this one now. Star Tours. Star Tours will be getting the Ahsoka storylines, the Ahsoka editions, which they announced at I think they announced that at D23, didn't they? The Ahsoka editions. Yeah.
Was that like one of the the only things that actually came to fruition that they announced at D23?
One of the few things, yeah, at D23.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I do think you're right. I think that was announced.
Yeah, the Ahsoka, which will be cool. I love that they do these little updates with Star Tours. We got the ones from the sequel movies, and I'm excited for them to add areas from Ahsoka. And I don't think they said, I think they specifically mentioned Ahsoka, so we'll be getting some scenes from different areas from the Ahsoka show. Sadie says yes, 5-day pass for Disney World, should be there for a week. Awesome,
nice.
Well, if you, I know you. Yeah. If you do Sadie, she does some gaming streams. She streams video games and stuff. And Super Jake, what's up? what's going on. But yeah, if you need any help, you know, I know James communicates with you more. You know, tell him to come back to me. I'll be able to. I can't plan your whole vacation because planning a Disney World vacation right now is a lot. So I'm
Insane.
telling you right now, Sadie, be prepared. I don't know if you've been to Disney World before 10 years ago. It's changed. So,
Yeah.
but I'm here for you if you need some help.
Yeah,
I'll do what I
we're
can.
currently in the do we buy an AP or not for Disney World this year, because I'm not even kidding. I have an entire spreadsheet of
Yeah,
and then it's like, if I get into Dopey, we definitely get an AP, but if I don't get into Dopey, maybe we don't need an AP. It's like
yeah.
this whole juggling game. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with
It's
you.
a lot. You know, we
It's a lot.
were, you know, and yeah, it's you know, because you got park reservations now, and then you have the good to go days where you don't need a park reservation, and you have virtual queues, and you have all this stuff going
Yeah.
on. So,
But
all
that's only
right,
for
back here.
APs. If you have regular tickets, you need a reservation. You
Yep.
don't have good to go days. So
Yeah. It's. She said never been
confusing.
at all. First time to Florida.
Nice.
No kids, just me. That's a plus. No kids.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Seriously. So, but yeah, if you need any help, Sadie, you know, any tips or anything, you know, reach out to James and he can get a hold of me, and I'll be able to help you out, you know, at least giving you an overview of what to expect with reservations and everything. Okay, coming back here to Disney World. Obviously very soon, I think this weekend, the Country Bear Show will be closing down for its
Yeah.
overhaul. There's a lot of people kind of up in arms about that. Some people are for it. I'm kind of neutral. I've never really had any emotional attachment to the Country Bears Jamboree show. I know Barry always wants the Christmas show back, I think it is. That's his favorite version of it.
I have an emotional attachment to Country Bears at Disneyland, which we haven't
Yeah,
had in quite a long time now.
sure.
So I'm like with you. I'm kind of neutral. We did go see it when we were in Florida in August,
Yeah.
just because. But I mean, they've cut so many stuff. They've cut so much out of the show from what I remember it being. So
Yeah.
we'll see. As long as they keep the heart of the show, then I'm good
Yeah.
with it.
I think that's what a lot of people are saying too. You know, as long as they keep the core, you know, essence of the show, I think it'll
Yeah.
be, you know, it'll still be a good show. Let's see what else here. What else here? Disney World. We mentioned Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Little Mermaid will finally be reopening at Hollywood Studios, a musical adventure. That'll be coming to, because that's been sitting there since COVID. That's
Oh
another
wow.
thing that they never opened the Little
Interesting.
Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios.
But yet they opened the subs at Disneyland because people were just clamoring for that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of the stuff. Moon Goddess, what's up? Thanks for tuning in for a few. Appreciate you. But yeah, the Little Mermaid show, musical adventure will be happening. That'll be coming later this year to Hollywood Studios. We mentioned Star Tours, Pixar Place Hotel, Fantasmic returning to Disneyland. Oh, at Epcot, Community Core Hall / Plaza will hopefully be opening. It looks like they're wrapping that up, which is the building in that area, which will house some of the meet and greets and some of that stuff. I've already seen, Barry and I talked about it last week. What's up, Daniel? Appreciate you. The area behind Epcot, the gardens area, with
I'm
the
just
wall
excited to have that
statue.
entire area, open again, not just walls everywhere.
No construction walls that we've had at Epcot
Yeah.
for the last 4 years, 3 years, 4
Yeah.
years. No, it's that area is nice. It's really cool at night with all the lights and everything. You know, there's still people that are upset that, you know, the fountains are gone, and, you know, you can't make, as we know with a lot of Disney fans, you can't make them all happy. You know, but
No.
the area, I do agree. And we kind of mentioned this last week. The area during the day, you know, it kind of takes away from it, but at night it looks really cool with all the,
Yeah.
because the lights on Spaceship Earth are synced with the lights in the gardens
And
area,
they
which is
didn't
really
really
cool.
talk about that, did they? It seemed kind of like it was kind of a surprise to everybody that first night. They
It
didn't
was.
really.
There were a lot of people that
Yeah.
night when the construction walls came down. That the lights around those, they're almost like, it almost looks like some kind of like teleportation thing with those giant arms and the lights on the ground. They all sync with Spaceship Earth when it's doing its nighttime.
Right.
It has the regular Epcot show, and then obviously seasonal one. It has the Frozen one for winter, and henceforth and
Are
so
they still
on.
doing the Rainbow Connection one there too for Festival of the Arts?
I believe that did come back. I haven't been to
Okay.
Festival of the Arts yet. Farts.
Farts.
Sorry. My maturity level is farts. Yep. I haven't been to Festival of the Arts yet. I'm hoping to go soon with the family. Maybe this weekend. The weather is if the weather holds up here and it cools down, I hope. But yeah, I think Rainbow Connection did come back, which is one of my
Cool.
favorites.
I
It's
love
so
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I think that's about it for Disney World. How long we've been going here? We're at 50 minutes, so we're doing good on time. We're actually doing perfect. Universal Orlando, I mentioned DreamWorks Land. Let me go over Disney stuff one more time. So yeah, I think we have a few minutes to kind of briefly go over obviously international stuff. At Thorpe Park, they're getting Hyperia, which looks absolutely amazing. I don't know if you've seen any of that, Greg.
It's insane. Yeah.
That ride looks absolutely insane. If you're
Yeah.
interested in some international, you know what, let me see if I can find we have a few, bear with me here. Hyperia.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, I am booking a trip. Like that, it looks like the perfect. I hate to say it, but it looks like the perfect coaster. Like it has everything that I want in a coaster. It has speed. It has, the height. I love speed. Like just give me the fastest coaster. But
this maneuver right here, this kind of inverted like overbank turn just looks, because you're not going to be, this isn't like Millennium Force. You're not going to be on the inside of this.
No, you're going to be like on the outside.
You're going to be on the outside out here.
Yeah.
So you're going to be coming out here on the outside, going around. And then I believe they said they just finished the Immelman, which is back here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this ride just looks, there's a better shot of it. Yeah, this ride makes me want to go over to Germany.
We were supposed to go to Europe this year. We had to postpone it till next year, but I'm like, okay. Disneyland Paris, Phantasialand, and Thorpe Park are like the three. I know that they're nowhere close to each other.
Yeah,
but
this ride looks absolutely insane though. I'm all here for it. So there's some pictures of Hyperia at Thorpe Park if you want to go overseas and check that out. What else? Obviously Tokyo over in Japan, the Donkey Kong coaster will be opening up at Universal Studios Japan. We'll be getting it next year with Epic Universe.
And I would not be surprised if they announced it for Hollywood we get the Olympics in 2028. So I'm going to guess that that's probably going to be about the time we get Donkey Kong. Would be my guess.
Where would they put that at Hollywood?
There's been rumors that basically on the kind of behind where Jurassic World is, the boat ride, like, so it kind of extends out that way. And they've been doing some work over there on some of the sound stages. So that would really be the only spot. I will say I'm a little disappointed they didn't completely redo the entire lower lot when they did Nintendo. But
when they did Nintendo,
but that I would be shocked if they didn't add Donkey Kong at some point.
And then obviously over at Tokyo Disney, the entire Fantasy Springs expansion with, let me see if I can remember, the Peter Pan area. This expansion is just unbelievably massive. Peter Pan, Tangled, and
Frozen.
Thank you. Basically, those are mini lands inside this massive expansion. And they're building that brand new hotel, which they announced the prices. Chris from TDR Explorer, he announced he got the prices. Let me bring up his Twitter feed here. He actually shared the Fantasy Chateau will start at 63,500 yen, or about $430 a night. Grand Chateau starts at 300,000 yen a night, or $2,300 a night.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, just do it.
If you're gonna go big, this, and also here's the concept artwork.
I mean, they say go big or go home. You go this big, you might not have a home left.
It looks absolutely unreal. But follow Chris over there on TDR Explorer. We had him on the podcast a while back. He is such a great guy. He does phenomenal coverage over there in Tokyo. and elsewhere, kind of over there in Asia. I know right before I cut away, he did a Shanghai Disneyland. He covered Zootopia as well. So what else? What else internationally? I'm trying to think European wise. I know
the redone
Nemesis.
Nemesis, yeah.
Nemesis at Alton Towers got completely remade. That's another one where they they didn't want to change it. They just completely tore it out. And there were a lot of people upset that that I saw several people that it wasn't completely new. It wasn't different. They were upset that it was the same Nemesis and they just retracted, kind of like what they did with Hulk here at Islands of Adventure.
I don't remember. Were people complaining that Hulk was the same layout when they redid it?
I never saw too many people complain about Hulk, but I actually saw a lot of people that I follow that live over there in the UK that they were upset that they weren't doing something completely new with Nemesis and they were just completely just redoing it, the same ride. But I've never been on Nemesis. I've never been Alton Towers.
Right, me either.
But as long as Nemesis has been open, I've always heard it's a good B&M, and it looks amazing because it's all underground and it
right. They have the height issues there. Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about Nemesis, so I didn't understand the up in arms about Nemesis just being retracked. It looks really cool with the shiny black B&M track with the kind of like the red veins on it, and it looks really cool. I've never from the 20 plus years I've been in the coaster enthusiast community following the construction of roller coasters, I don't think I've ever seen a B&M where they've painted on the track. I can't remember. I mean, maybe
I can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't think of a B&M coaster where they've.
I can't think of too many coasters. Period, where they've done that.
Where they've whether it's Intamin or B&M or Vekoma or I've never seen them. You
get different colors. On the spine and the track and the
rails.
Rails, but not like to that extent. I'm actually struggling to think of any, to be honest with you.
I can't think of anything. I can't think of any coaster that's ever had that detailed of a paint job on the side of the track with the vines or veins or whatever it is. The creature that Nemesis is deemed after.
That's gonna bug me now if I can't think of one.
Greg's gonna get off the stream and he's gonna do it
in the morning. Yeah, no, I'm gonna wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, I thought of it. I'm gonna text you.
This coaster, they painted this track. Yeah, I can't think of a coaster that's ever had that detail of a paint job on it, like ever. So, anyways, some food for thought. If anybody has, let us know. Yeah, Space Mountain. No, that'll be a good wormhole to go down to see if anybody's ever. Maybe there's some like random. I mean, I'm sure there's some like random family coaster out there or something that's had like something painted on the track, but nothing major. No major theme park
random like coaster in the Philippines that somebody just hand painted or something.
Yeah, like one of those ones that has like the knockoff Disney characters like Lightning McQueen and stuff painted on it or anything.
I've been to one of those parks.
Those are so funny. Those rides, like the knockoff Disney rides, they're so funny.
Yeah, there was like the one I went to in the Philippines. There was like a Lion King boat ride. I didn't go on it because I was like, I'm gonna get some disease in there or something. But like they had like a Little Mermaid wacky worm, and then right across from that they had another wacky worm, and then they had I know very off topic, but they had a walkthrough of a Peter Pan. Right,
yeah.
It was literally Peter Pan from Disneyland, scene for scene. But it was a walkthrough. You were on like a catwalk, and walked through the entire thing.
That's
it was
funny.
The coolest thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Barry just texted me and he said Voltron at Europa Park. I'm Googling this right now before we Voltron Europa Park. I want to say I know what he's talking about. What is this?
I didn't even know there was a Voltron coaster.
Voltron.
Oh, this is a new coaster. Oh, it's a new coaster.
Oh, so I don't think he's talking about. Oh yeah, maybe he's watching the delay on the stream. Yeah, Voltron. Looks like a. What kind of, yeah.
Well, if it's Europa Park, it's obviously a mock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Let
all
me
they
see.
have.
Yeah. Is this the official website for it? Yeah. Whoa, pop-ups.
Jeez.
It says 7 versions, 4 launches, 2.2 seconds of continuous weightlessness, and the world record with the steepest launch of 105 degrees.
Wait a minute. Steepest launch?
Steepest launch.
So does that mean the launch like goes like this?
I'm confused. I'm gonna have to look. I had
like
this was
not drop. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Thanks, Barry.
yeah, it is mock. Yeah,
Well, of
striker
course it is,
coaster,
yeah,
the first of its kind. Watch trailer. Oh, here's the trailer. Let's
experience this together.
yeah. Oh, it's like all like electricity kind of themed and everything.
So it's not Voltron like the cartoon. It's Voltron
like like Voltron. All right, here we go. Voltron.
And obviously Europa Park is definitely on the theme
It
park.
is
bucket
really
list.
loud. I don't have the audio, so we're just gonna kind of experience this with no. I don't think I shared the sound with this.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the sound either.
Yeah.
So like Tesla.
Yeah. Let me fast forward here. I don't think they're gonna show anything. Okay, we don't care. Yep, that's nice. The new don't tell me we're not gonna get any footage. Oh, there it is.
Oh, here we go.
That's cool that they're building like a whole. Oh, that's all they're showing. Lame. Come on.
I want to see that launch though.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. That launch. That was interesting. Let me see if I can. Voltron
launch.
Europa.
It's going to be like Tiger.
Yeah, I'm
going to be all the tigers from Voltron.
Yeah.
I'm just aging myself there.
The Wikipedia says included in the ride's layout is a beyond vertical launch at the start of the ride, a booster launch, a turntable, and a multi-pass swing launch. But where does the 105 degrees thing come?
It's got to be like because I think there was a coaster in China or like somewhere in Asia where they had a launch that like, or was it the park in was it Alabama, the X coaster? They had kind of it was a lift hill that kind of took you upside down.
Yeah.
It didn't last very long.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's something like that. Somebody had to have recreated the ride in like Planet Coaster or No Limits or something, you would think.
Why is my computer lagging so much? Oh, okay. It's good. It's one of those rides. Hold on. Let me restart this.
Willkommen.
I don't speak German. Sorry, everybody.
It means welcome and welcome. I took 3 years.
So here we go. Here's the POV. Okay. It's going to be one of those ones where it launches straight up and then you go upside down.
Okay, so that is
okay. So
the
launch is going to be straight up, and it's going to have a slight tilt to it.
Inversion.
So that's going to make it 105 degrees.
Okay. I mean, that looks awesome.
Another launch there.
Looks like a lot of hang time there. Nice
hang time right there. Yeah.
I will say too, Europe's got us beat on like the theming of their coasters, like just making sure, other than Disney and Universal, just the amount of theme they put into their coasters. Like there was like the Fantasia Land in the snow, just so cool.
Yeah, they do a lot of cool themes over there in UK and Europe. Yeah,
they've got us beat on like the theming of like their extreme coasters.
Oh, this is kind of cool. Look at this. This is the turntable.
Oh, nice.
Turntable. Sweet. That's kind of cool. So then it's going to come over to the launch, and then you're going to launch. It's amazing
what you can do when you're like the proving grounds for mock coasters,
right? That little bit of a backwards launch, and then you go full blast up over the first launch.
Wow.
Interesting. So, okay, cool. Yeah, thank you, Barry, for that.
Good suggestion, Barry. Yeah.
Thank you. Barry's not here physically, but he's here in spirit tonight. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we can get on out of here. I've pretty much Japan. We mentioned the Tokyo Disney expansion, Universal Studios Japan, Donkey Kong Coaster, Hyperia Thorpe Park. And I think that's all I can think of. I know I'm probably missing some stuff in between there. So that was a good recap. So anywho, Greg, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Fun.
Last minute. Sorry for the last minute
no, it's super fun.
Text earlier today to join on the stream. But I do appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody tuning into the stream. And like I said, I do want to have you on more often, kind of like what we did tonight, but more current updates.
Right.
And Sadie, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. And like I said, if you need some help with your Disney World trip, let me know. I'll do what I can to help you out. But yeah, Greg, I do want to have you on, periodically, with some more, if, when things get interesting over there on the West Coast, maybe during Halloween Horror Nights, when things kick into high gear, because as we well know, the vast majority of our fans over here at ThrillGeek are Halloween Horror Night fanatics. So, I definitely like to have you on the stream. We can kind of bounce off each other and do some Halloween Horror Night streams.
Nice.
So.
Well, and now that you're a not Scary Farm fan, we can.
I know.
You're not coming out this year?
Well, I think you and I talked about this when I was over there. I'm kind of torn because it's not like Halloween Horror Nights where you get a new event every single year.
There's a lot of it's usually, like, I'd suggest to people that don't live in Southern California. Obviously we go multiple times every year, but every 3 years. Seems to be so. You went in 23, so I would say 25. 25, 26, and
I don't know if I can make it every 3 years, but we'll see.
yeah. No, it's tough. But yeah, I would say that at least in that point you will have most of everything will be new to you, other than the 2 new ones that you saw last year. So
because they usually get 2 or 3 houses, new houses every year.
They're gonna get 1, 2. I think they're getting two new houses this year. Yeah.
So at least half of them would be new if I went every 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'll, I do want to
see you in May and I'll see you in October. So
yeah. So no, I do. I would like to go more often, but I'm like, is it worth it, to go as often as I could go every year. I'm officially hooked on Scary Farm.
It's a great event. But I only went the once last year due to obviously family stuff. So we did get our Scary Farm passes for this year. So I'm definitely looking forward to
we did
putting some good
night.
news to them. Yeah.
You and I did pretty good.
we did. It was a good night to go.
I appreciate. That you said that was like the first. It was the first Sunday of
typically So
they don't do that normally, weekend, right?
No, usually the first weekend they don't do Sundays, and this was the first year that they did. I think because they delayed it a week, because it was actually supposed to open the week before.
Yeah.
So I think that they just kind of threw that Sunday in, which was great because it was not busy.
Yeah, no, we had everything done by 10.
Yeah, and then we did things multiple
9:30
things multiple times. Yeah.
That was a good night. I had fun. You officially hooked me on Scary Farm. So
nice.
I left I left a fan. I was hooked. So anywho, Greg, is there anything you want to plug? Park Journey stuff? Anything
Park Journey,
anything you want
to
follow Park Journey, follow ThrillGeek, all the stuff. Follow ThrillGeek on Facebook, Instagram. If you're watching the stream, appreciate you guys. Make sure I blast this out to everything now. Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I do the stream on there. Twitter. Yeah, I still call it Twitter. Our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ThrillGeek. Our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ThrillGeek. I put the stream up there every week. And facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Make sure you like and follow our Facebook page for all that good stuff. And our TikTok. And we have a Pinterest, which is bizarre. It's literally a dump for our articles. That's the only thing I have the Pinterest for there.
I thought Pinterest was more for selling things. Was
I've never. I always thought Pinterest as like to me, it's always been like an arts and crafts thing. Like if you want to go there and make something,
like if you want to put your
Pinterest.
ThrillGeek buttons on there, like that seems that would be like the only thing I could think of.
The vibe that I always got from Pinterest is it was a social media platform to go to for like arts and crafts fanatics that like making stuff and everything. But you know, our articles actually do pretty good on there. They get some clicks and some traffic. So, you know, that's literally all I have it there for. So if you want to follow us there on Pinterest, I think that's the only one that's not ThrillGeek. It's Thrill_. Somebody had ThrillGeek. I don't know. I need to find out who has the official ThrillGeek Pinterest and hunt them down and be like, hey. But anywho, yeah, give it up. But yeah, make sure you guys are following us on all of our socials, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. We will be back here next week. Hopefully Barry and Emily will be back, and we'll get into it. And so yeah, Greg, thanks again for joining us. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Sadie, appreciate you. Daniel, Moon Goddess, appreciate everybody tuning into the chat. We will see you guys next week. Take care. Be safe. Bye.